Welcome to another unit of vocabulary words. We're going to continue learning about the moon this week. We're going to have some new readings, some new topics about the moon to learn, specifically astronauts and the moon landings. So you're going to need to know a few more words to feel comfortable with that material. So let's learn the words and then see what we need to do. If you're watching this as a whole class, you're going to be turning and discussing in breakout rooms. If you're watching this on your own because of technical problems or it's turning in late, I need you to record in writing your answers to at least 5 of the questions and send them to your teacher. You can write those down and share them in the Google Doc, or if you prefer, you can record a video and send that to your teacher as well. So your goal is, I can show that I've learned at least 2 new moon vocabulary words. You'll do that by copying the Frayer model slides, choosing a vocab word from the list on the slides, filling out the Frayer model, and taking a screenshot to share. Here's our first word. It's an astronaut or cosmonaut. Both words mean a person who goes into outer space. Astronaut is the American word, and cosmonaut is the word for USSR or Russia. Synonyms would be not be orbiter or the moon, but rather just a person who goes into outer space. Here are some examples of these sentences. The cosmonaut and the astronaut shook hands on the space station. That's nice. The cosmonaut left her spacecraft for a spacewalk. The astronaut joined her. So here's your discussion question. Have you ever seen another word that starts with astro before? What do you think just the word astro by itself means? Discuss that in breakout rooms. Next up, a spacecraft. Spacecraft is a vehicle that works in outer space. It moves around in outer space, and we made it. Synonyms would be spaceship, rocket, capsule, or module. Example sentences. The Space Shuttle and the Dragon space capsule, you'll see that here in the picture, are the 2 most recent spacecraft to take Americans to space. The most used spacecraft for transporting astronauts and cosmonauts to the International Space Station is the Russian Soyuz. How do you go to a bathroom on a spacecraft? Any idea? Or are you just supposed to hold it until you get back to Earth? Manned. When a spacecraft has a person in it, it is a manned spacecraft. Synonyms would be crewed, populated, or piloted, and antonyms would be unmanned or remote control. Example sentences here. The first manned spacecraft on the moon was the Apollo 11 lander, which is called the Eagle. The USSR sent the first manned mission into space, the Vostok 1, piloted by Yuri Gagarin. Here is a manned space capsule with 2 astronauts, or maybe cosmonauts in it. I believe this is a Gemini space capsule with 2 astronauts in the picture. Is a manned spacecraft better than an unmanned one? Why? The Soviet Union, also called the USSR. If you want to know what the USSR stands for, it stands for the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. Okay, I believe that's right. The Soviet Union. A country formed by Russia and other smaller countries joining together from 1918 to 1991. It was one of the great powers of the world for about 50 years. Here's some example sentences about the Soviet Union, which is also called the USSR. The Soviet Union was created in 1918 after a revolution and a war, which is similar to how the United States was created in 1776. The USSR and the USA were rivals during the Cold War. They did not get along. Anybody know where Russia is located on a map today? How big is it compared to other countries? In your breakout room, see if you can figure this out. Where is Russia and how big is it compared to other countries? Conflict. Conflict is a fight, a struggle, or problem between 2 or more things. Synonyms would be a war or problem. Antonyms would be peace, kindness, or resolution. Example sentences. A conflict can start between 2 countries that want the same resources. You might have a conflict with your brother if you both keep using mean words. What are some examples of conflict between countries? Can you have a conflict that does not become a war? Cold War. When 2 countries struggle or fight for power without actually shooting at each other. So synonyms would be unfriendly competition, indirect conflict. Antonyms would be hot war or direct conflict. Here's an example. The most famous Cold War in history happened between the United States and the USSR during the second half of the 1900s. How might students in class act like people in a Cold War? How can you fight without actually hitting or hurting each other physically? All right, once you've discussed those in small groups, you can show that you have learned 2 Moon vocabulary words. There's instruction videos on how to do this, but you're going to copy the Frayer model slides again, and you'll press the 3-dot menu, press share and export, and press make a copy to do that. You'll choose one of the words from today's list of 6 words. We had 6 words. You're going to choose one of those words, not a word that you already knew, not a word that you think is fun, one of the 6 words from today's lesson. And you will use it to fill out the model, take a screenshot, and share. Your first one you're going to do is an exit ticket for your teacher, and your second one is to go up on the assignment page for today. Because this is an assignment you've already learned how to do, there is another short assignment as well on Canvas. So you're going to do 2 Frayer models. One is your exit ticket, and one is your first assignment. Your second assignment is a short quiz on a main idea. This is a text we've already read before. I'm going to ask you to tell me the main idea and supporting details on it. It's pretty quick. Once you're done with those things, there is a read aloud, a reminder to post your video of yourself reading aloud a book about the moon, and if you get done with all that before 9:45, you are supposed to be reading on your own independently. I will see you with your exit tickets or in my reading groups, or never at all if you're not in my class. Bye for now.